Hi everyone, I just wanted to add a video of how you can use your Desmos construction to help you with any unfinished Khan assignments you might have. So when I type in Desmos, the graphing calculator always pops up, and then I just click on the word Desmos in the middle and top of the screen, and that takes me to this page. And I'm going to go to the math tools and the geometry tool to get the constructions that we've done. Hopefully you have saved your constructions. Hopefully you've done them. If you haven't done them, I am going to use ones that are already completed today, but there are some videos in Schoology in week 5. There's a, let's see, what's this? This is, I think, a video on, yeah, that one's from class on how to do the two lines constructed or cut by a transversal.
Recording.
So if you don't know how to create that, I start with intersecting lines and review vertical angles, complementary, supplementary, and then I think I add the second line, and we even talked about complementary angles. So there's a video there to help you with that construction if you need it, right in Schoology, right where the assignment is. And then for week 6, I'm going to insert a video to show you how to use your Desmos to connect with these also. But for right now, I'm noticing not quite everyone is finishing these 3 Khan assignments here: equation practice with angle addition, equation practice with angles, angle relationships with parallel lines. So I wanted to address that. So when I look at I'm going to log in on Desmos. And I'm going to go to my saved constructions and look at my 2 vertical lines cut by a transversal. Now I've got a few of these. You probably have one where the 2 lines are horizontal. And if you look at those 2, you can color coordinate which ones are the same. And then let's say you're looking at the Khan assignment equation practice with angles. Let's look at that one. The lines don't always show up the same way they are in Desmos. So what I did is I actually did another 2 lines cut by a transversal. And I made the 2 lines, whoops, where'd it go? Here it is. I made the 2 lines more diagonal, more vertical than they were in the first one. So if I'm looking at this picture here, this construction, if these 4 angles here match these 4 angles here, then I know my lines are parallel. I did not force the lines to be parallel when I created this. You can use more tools and create a parallel line, but a lot of students think, we usually do that in class with paper and pencil, and a lot of students think the lines are always going to be parallel, but they are not necessarily parallel. They're always parallel if these 4 angles here match these 4 angles here. And the converse of that is also true. If the lines are parallel, if you see the matching arrows, like we do right here in Khan, those matching arrows mean that my lines are parallel. Okay, so looking at this example on Khan, I'm looking at these 2 angles here. So let me put next to my construction and see if this helps me to figure out the relationship between those 2 angles. And I'm kind of just manipulating my 2 windows here. If you press, just get this a little bit better. If you press the Alt button and the open bracket button. That will allow you to split up your screens very nicely on a Chromebook. Okay, so I'm looking at this picture on Khan, and I see I have an angle A that is underneath the transversal, and it's outside of those two lines. So when I say outside, these two angles here, 72 and 108, would be on the outside. These two angles here would be on the outside, and they're called exterior angles. I'm even going to make these two lines look just like the picture on Khan and the transversal. I think I can do that. So it takes a minute to set up the construction on Desmos, but I think it's a minute worth spent working on this, because once you've got that, you can just refer to that for quite a few of these Khan assignments. Okay, so I'm looking at angle A and angle B, both outside of the two parallel lines, and I made sure that my angles, 4 angles here, matched my 4 angles here. I made sure that the lines are parallel because they are on Khan, and I can see that these two angles that are on opposite sides of the transversal are the same. They're congruent. So I'm going to use that relationship, and I'm going to say, okay, I know these two angles must be the same, so I know that angle A is going to be equal to angle B, and I'm going to solve for x. So it tells me that angle A is 5x minus 15, B is 2x plus 21, so then 5x minus 15 equals 2x plus 21, and we're just going to solve for x. When I have x's on both sides, I like to get rid of the one, the smaller one, so I'm going to subtract 2x from each side. That's going to give me this, and then I'm going to add 15 to both sides, and yours is going to be different, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this part, but I do want to remind you that you are not finished when you solve for x. So I'm going to get 3x equals 36, and so x equals 12. That's not the answer. This is asking me for angle B, so I need to substitute 12 in the place of x in the expression for angle B. So angle B was 2x plus 21, so I'm going to do 2 times 12 plus 21, so 24 plus 21 is 45. So angle B, measure of angle B, is 45. Now, they're not all going to be like that. They're not all going to be equal to each other. Don't think that just because I did that example, they're all going to be the same. Let's just look at how this connects to my Desmos picture. And I'm going to actually pull up, because I see these two lines are going to look a little bit more like this construction. I'm going to pull up this construction and make it look more like the picture on Desmos. So I'm going to adjust this a little bit. The points that you use to create the lines are the ones that you can use to rotate the lines. Uh-oh, where are the points for this one? Let's see. I don't even know where they are for this line. Oh, here we go. Okay. And this is kind of the most difficult part, is just moving everything around. Sometimes it's almost easier to just create a new construction. So that looks pretty close to what we have on Khan. And I see that these angles here, I know one of them isn't showing up, and it's because I've move these lines around, and it can create, if you measured the angle and you put those points in a certain place and then you move the lines around, it can kind of make some of those angles disappear on you. So I'm looking at angle A and angle B, and I see they're on the same side of the transversal. And I see one's on the exterior, one's on the outside, and one's on the inside, one's interior. So that would match this angle here. I'll make it a different color. And this angle here. So these two angles that are both green are in the same place as they are in con. So this equation would be like the one I just did. 8x minus 8 would equal 5x plus 25. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to do that one super fast in my head, and that would give me 3x equals 33. So x is 11. And then I'm looking for angle B. 88 minus 8 would be 80. So I'm skipping over how to do the equation solving piece. If you need support on that, I'm happy to help you, but I'm really mostly doing this to show you how to connect these constructions that we've done with the work we're doing on con. Okay, now I see that my lines are pretty much horizontal, so I'm going to go back to the way it was when we created this. Okay, and I've made sure that my lines are parallel by making sure that these four angles match these four angles down here. Con is showing me that the lines are parallel. You're not going to have a pair that are not parallel on con for this particular assignment. Okay, and I'm looking at angle A and angle B. They are on the same side of the transversal. Both are interior. So that is going to, just return them to the same color. Okay, that's going to match oops. Okay. There we go. Okay, that's going to match the ones that I am turning green right now. Oops, I made this one green on accident. That one was what? Orange. Okay, so the two, whoops, that's not this one. That was blue. Okay, it's going to be blue. This one's going to be green. Okay, so the two angles that are green in my picture on my construction on Desmos are in the same location as A and B. Those are not equal. If the lines are parallel, these are called same side interior angles. And by the way, I think we did, you should have this from a previous, and I can post this picture in this folder to help you. But these are the four types that you're going to see, or sorry, these are the three types you're going to see. There are more types, but these are the main ones you're going to see. If they're on opposite sides of the transversal, alternate interior, alternate exterior, they're going to be equal. If they match this picture or this picture, they're going to be equal. If they're on the same side of the transversal, then it depends. If they're like the ones we're looking at on con right now, if they're both interior angles, they're going to be supplementary. If one's interior and one's exterior, those are called corresponding, and they're going to be equal. So I'll get this picture on Schoology. But for this example on con, you would say that angle A plus angle B equals 180 and solve for x. So in this case, it would be 8x plus 74 plus 2x plus 56 equals 180, and then I'm just going to solve for x, which I'm going to stop here because I'm supposed to be available right now. Hopefully this helps, and I can do another one for the other set of con.